Okay, this is 7th period homework 33, I believe, which is the extra review for 4446. In these two sections, we do a lot with functions, domains, and ranges. And a function is when all of the inputs have exactly one output. So all the x's go to are mapped to the outputs exactly one y. Now, the y's can be the same, but the x's have to be all different. So like in problem 1, since all the x's go to exactly one y, since they all go to one y just happens to be the same. That's okay. It's this relation is still a function. So this is yes, and the domain is -2, 0, 1, and 4, and the range is 3. That's the only number. We only list it once. Now, the answer to 2b is yes, because each one's different, and the domain is the list of x's, -5, -3, +1, and 5, and the range is, of course, the y's, which is pretty easy. It's 1, -2, 0, and 4. Now, C is ordered pairs, but we could put it in a table if we wanted to. We put x as -3, 0, -2, 0, and then y would be 5, -2, 3, and 3 and 0. Now we don't list this 0 twice here, so we're going to erase it. -3 goes to 5, 0 goes to -2, -2 goes to 3, but 0 also goes to 0, which is right here. So this is no. This is not a function because this input, 0, has two outputs, 1 and 2. So the domain and range are the lists again, which is -3, 0, and 2, -2, and the range is 5, -2, 3, and 0. Number 2, we're going to graph it. Now I'm only going to graph 1 for the sake of time, but when there's no fraction for the number that's multiplied by x, we get y equals -4x plus 1. We choose these values for x, -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. And to complete this problem, we substitute these values into this x. So the first value for y equals 4 times -2 plus 1. Y equals 4 times -1. Oh, -4. -4 times -1 plus 1. And y equals -4 times 0 plus 1. Y equals -4 times 1 plus 1. And y equals -4 times 2 plus 1. So now we have to figure out what the y values are, and this value is going to be 9. This value will be 5. This value would be 1. This value would be -3. And this value would be -7. So then the ordered pairs that we get for these five ordered pairs that we will be graphing, the x's will be -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, and the y's will be 9, 5, 1, -3, and -7. So then the ordered pairs are looking like this: -2, 9, -1, 5, 0, 1, 1, -3, and 2, -7. And we draw a line to indicate the graph. Graph each function rule. In this problem, this function rule is represented by this graph. So everywhere along this line, the value of y's, the y's, equal -4 times whatever x is plus 1. That's the rule. This rule for b is y is equal to 2x minus 5. And your graph should look something like this. You're going to have -2, -2, -9. Right, -1, -7. 0, -5, 1, 4, and 2, -1. And then you draw a line to indicate your graph. All right, so but you have to complete the table, just like it did on this one. Problem number 3 says f of -2 for the function f of x equals x squared minus 11. So this f of -2 is a substitution problem, equals -2 squared minus 11. So that's where that x goes. Then you figure this out, and it's -7. Now the next problem is just like this problem, but there's four problems to do. So you want to figure out what f of -2 is, what f of -1 is, what f of 0 is, and what f of 1 is. So you make these substitutions, and you get -3 times -2 minus 1, right, which is 5. F of -1 is 4. 2. F of 0 is -1, and f of 1 is -4. The question says find the range of each function for the given domain. The domain is this. So the range is this, 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 and this. So R equals, put it in brackets, 5, 2, -1, -4. Problem number 5 says write a function rule. A is 12 more than 1/2 of B. A equals, is means equals, more than is plus, 12 plus 1/2 B. 10 less than the product of -3 and a number x is y. So equals y is what we get when we see is y. Right? Now, 10 less than a number is going to be minus 10 over there. Okay? And then the product of -3 and a number x goes right here. So the final answer in this problem is -3x minus 10 equals y. 10 less than the product of -3 and a number is y. Number 6, George is 3 years younger than 2 times his sister. So G equals 3 years younger than 2 times his sister. So it's 2 times his S. We'll take sister's age S, right, minus 3. 3 years younger. okay? So write a rule that represents George's age as a function of his sister's age. How old is George if his sister is 7? George equals 2 times 7 minus 3. So George is equal to 11. 3 years younger than twice his sister's age. All right, these last two are solving equations. So we're going to put those in here. We get negative 2x plus 12 plus 6x equals 3x minus 12. Okay? And so x equals negative 24 is what you get for this one. This problem here is x equals 6. Okay? So that's what we got to do here. All right, have a good day.